Welcome. Mel and Kluber. A few more has to join, so waiting a bit. Welcome as well, M. the Court. Is the sound good? Can anyone confirm? Is the sound good? Perfect. Okay. Great. Welcome as well, Kaijel's Dead. Let me share the link as well on X. So we have quite a lot of stuff to discuss. Let's see. One minute. Okay. So I think I'm just going to start, and then people that join later, then they will join later. So let's first zoom out, because Bitcoin is going for the bullish plan, it seems, or at least now it's in the last point of supply. This is literally the last level that can reject price before reaching new weekly highs. But yeah, you can see that price is already spiking through it. So this supply is basically already gone. So I think we are going for that idea which I shared today, where we mapped out since last week, where price at that moment created this deviation of our former range high right here. And there I said, like, I will be very surprised if this was the deviation already and we rotate all the way back to the range lows. If you look at the structure from the low up, we basically had high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then a super deep retrace. But this was like an SFP, so technically we never broke structure truly back to bearish. On like the 1 hour we did, but on the high time frame of 2 hour, we always maintained our upward structure from the low up. So this was nasty manipulation, but since we also from here you can watch structure low, lower high, lower low, high low. So here we broke structure back to bullish, and from that moment, let me clear up the, and also this one actually. So here we broke our internal back to bullish, which was our signal that we were likely going to push higher. So from here we, when was this? It was Monday. Here I was also looking for a long, I believe, but I missed that long. I don't even know all the trades I've taken. But basically where we started to trade was more on Tuesday. I'm not sure if I did take a trade on Monday. I think I missed like a trade. I think I wanted to have this retrace into that demand, and then I missed that one. But I was looking for the potential high of the week on Tuesday. So there I took the short right here. After this model 2, very local model 2, 1, 2, 3, breaker structure. So that was one of the better trades this week with the stop right there. And then trailed that out on the way down in the morning, I believe around here. And then eventually that took out my position after taking quite a lot of profits out already. And then we formed that high of the week, or at least at that moment it was the high of the week, which was this high right here. And since there we basically started the range we have been in since this week. Let me show it here actually, it's cleaner. Where we had this was basically our 1, our 2, our 3 drive. So that's why I shorted it, and the ES had the super clean 3 drive, which gave confirmation for me to short BTC instead. And this is where our range started. So this was my starting point, range high, range low. Then this is step 1, this is step 2, but you can just extend your range. So then you basically have step 1 there, step 1 here, step 1 here. And this is where all the models came into play. Where we had the range low. And even if I go over all the trades, it are too many to discuss. Then it's gonna be a very long one, because we had a distribution right here. We had a redistribution right here on the way down, and then here we started to accumulate as well with the range low. So here we had step 1, step 2, and then the deviation, which was quite deep, but that was the step 2 of this model. Then we had the aggressive move up, which was the stream from Tuesday, where we had the range right here again with range low, range high is there. That range low sweep, rotation back to the range high. Here again a range with pretty clean triggers, where we also had, because here we had quite not really structure to confirm this deviation, but in the end we had 1, 2, 3 redistribution, price going back to the range low, completing this model. And then here we had super clean structure, the low, lower high, lower low, break of structure. So this was our break of structure back to bullish. And from here, this was the choppy price action we had yesterday, where in the Discord I mentioned we had 50-minute demand, which was here. So we were waiting for that 15-minute demand mitigation to enter long, but we got the inducement from where price shoot up. So here we missed the long, unfortunately, but we can see that after New York we got super choppy price action. But where that price eventually came back for is the 50-minute demand, and there we started like a super tight compression, basically a pennant right here, which eventually broke out to the upside. And then if we zoom out again, what it basically completed was the model 2 accumulation. So if we extend it here and focus on the taps on the lows, and we have tap 1, we have tap 2, taking out the initial range low. Then this was the tap 3 on the range low, Here we broke structure back to bullish, and then this was basically our extreme demand mitigation. But it was super hard to trade this model 2 back to this range high because we had super choppy price action here without any solid confirmation. And with these patterns, it's often 50-50 where it goes to. So I was also not positioned for this move, basically because we were consolidating independent around the mid-range, which is literally 50-50. But you can see that price broke out, retested, and then during Asia had a super aggressive move, taking out the range high. And this is where my trade of today came in. I only took one trade today, which is better, or at least it was a 3R win, so I'm good with it. I don't necessarily need to prove or like chase any new trades right now, also because we are just bumping. And I think a lot of people are shorting it, so I rather just see clean triggers right now than go into stupid trades. The reason why I was longing today is basically because I knew a lot of people are looking at this, at the distribution to form right here. However, if we zoom in, what did price do? We had model 2 accumulation, then we had compression right here, where we broke to the upside. So you can also see it, like this was our range. This broke bullish, price moved up. So if we just look at here, what are we doing? High, higher low, higher high, broke the range. What can we expect? A higher low for a higher high based on this trend. So what I was really hoping for was to see price come back for this mitigation. Range, initiation, mitigation, continuation. However, price did not do that. But what did it do on the lower time frame? And this is like on the low time frame for me, it's somehow all much cleaner. Because what did we do? We are trending up, range high, range low. So let's start here and show it with full deviation threshold. So you have range high, range low, mid range. So this is your range at that moment. Can you extend it? Move out of the range, back in. So if you really look at it locally, then you can say this is 1, this is 2, extend, this is 3. How does price move into it? Low, lower high, lower low, break of structure. So internally, you break structure back to bullish, right here. Then did price leave anything behind? There was no demand left behind. But then price eventually takes out this liquidity. So you can say you have 1, 2, 3. This is kind of your fourth tap. And this was all when I was still asleep, so I didn't trade this. I woke up when, or at least when I was behind my screen, was around here. And then I saw price making the second tap. And I knew this is where a lot of people are overly focused on the short. So everyone is looking to short this purely because it can be a potential distribution. However, potential is nothing in trading. Potential, you need confirmations. Potential is a trap. So what I saw right here is that from here, price basically moved up. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price retested this demand. So we are basically still in an uptrend because we broke this to the upside. Here we are in a range. Locally, we broke back to bullish. And then here, price mitigated this demand. Perfect mitigation. So we made the second, we came back, but this whole move, there was no structure in. So that's just showing a lot of strength. If you did this bullish, bearish, then it was another story. But right now, this is just a strong move higher. So then you can expect higher low, higher high. So we had the perfect demand mitigation right here. Here on this structure, low, lower high, lower low. Then here we broke it from left to right to bullish. And my entry was, where was my entry? I believe my entry was anywhere before this, I think around here. I stopped there, and 72.5 was my target, because I knew if we extend our range, so we have tab 1, tab 2, then if this eventually still can turn out into a distribution, then this is the level where you reverse. So that was my take profit target. And my entry was little, it was around, maybe around here for 2.7, it was around 3R. And then I took profits, went out, and eventually it was, of course, a much bigger winner, because price, if this was our starting range, this step 2, then price just retested the range high and then continued higher. But that's always in hindsight. And we also had news events, so yeah, the 3R in like 15 minutes or so. I will always take that at home. And right now, where is price? Price is eating through that last supply zone. And on the way up, we are also leaving demand behind. So we have this range, which was broken to bullish. So this is basically one big range demand, still untested. I'm not gonna leave it on my chart because I know this, if we retested it, so basically any move into here is for buying. And more locally, we have here a 1 hour OBM right there. So I know probably a lot of people are only focused on shorts right now, but I will be super careful with shorting this, because we have a super clean accumulation right here. And basically rounded bottoms are always a Wyckoff accumulation, and rounded tops are distribution. Well, this is a super clean rounded bottom, so this is where players accumulated. And if you see how price is moving up, then on the hourly we don't even have structure. So on the 45, I could say on the 30, the structure from the low up is this: high low, high high, high low, high high, high low. And then currently we are in an expansion leg again. So you don't know where it ends. But it means that to break your internal structure to bearish, you need to break below this low, which is also a 1 hour demand. However, if you break below that, what do you have directly under you? This range demand. So for the time being, I don't see any short until we start showing super clean distribution behavior, right? This take out previous weekly high, then break structure, then I will be interested in short. But else, I think we have a very, very big chance of baiting shorts right here, which I said in the video as well. This is where everyone is looking for shorts, but price can consolidate here for a bit, shoot up, take out all those shorts. And then this is where I'm interested in swing shorts. Basically this supply around 75, 76k. If before taking supply, we retrace, then I'm even more interested in longs into this level than I'm overly focused on shorts right now. So I will be careful with thinking, oh, this is a Model 2, because I know a lot of people are waiting for the Model 2, and then you hope it plays out, but then your mind can trick you into thinking, okay, I need to catch the Model 2. We are now in the POI, so let me go to the 2-minute time frame or the 1 minute and search for every breaker structure. However, 1 minute structure in an uptrend is not what you should use, because here, high, high, low. Was this an high? No, but like if you take the breaker structure here, you're being trapped. So each time, like here you can also say, this is your high, high, low, high, high, break below here, and then I'm gonna short it. If you do that, chance is very, very big that price just fills in, takes liquidity and pushes higher. So then you have to zoom out. What is your, first of all, your highest time frame, and what do you see beneath you? So on the hourly, we have super clean demand. Demand is in control. Structure is bullish. Right here, I saw like on the 5-minute, also demand here. So you clearly see that there is demand being created. So for the time being, demand is in control until proven otherwise, which means that the easier play is to look for longs in these zones and just play the trend. While I know that probably your emotions say, I'm too late, let me short, let me short, let me short. Because if this is the high, then I can, that's the only way to win. But that's the wrong way of thinking. Demand is in control until proven otherwise, and this can just squeeze higher and higher. I would also not be surprised if Sailor is buying crazy amounts. So then the question is, when is he gonna end? Nobody knows that, but the chart will show that. By the time he's stopping, you will see clear exhaustion, and then like the tree drive again, and that's what we want to short. The clean and obvious trades, and not this. This is not clean. This is just upwards into proven otherwise. Can you explain why it is acceptable here to enter before the break structure? On which example? If it was on the short, then I meant it like it's not acceptable to enter before the short. I would not touch shorts here at all. I was explaining it more in a way that that's how a lot of people think, because they think this is the area where the Model 2 will confirm. So I'm gonna take every short which there is to enter before the break structure. The BTC trade you took this morning. Well, basically because I was trading with the trend. So then we are literally, this is all an uptrend from here, here, here. So if you then have an internal break, then you can already long. So basically what we had here, low, low, high, low. If I was awake, this could have been basically already the entry. Long, and then if you are aggressive, this could have been your long. Stop loss there, and then right higher. However, I missed that. So I basically had, which I just said, 1, 2, 3. Here liquidity, so this is potentially a 4. And then you are trending up. And then all your time frames are pointing higher from here. So then going into a long, we don't need much more confirmation. could also have entered here, basically because there's a great chance this was already the higher low, and then just ride the trend. And because I know that everyone was looking to short this, while the order flow was showing a lot of buying. So then I know, okay, big boys are buying. Let's see if, look, a lot of longs entering, which is a strong sign. But I saw that here. This morning, in those candles, huge buying. So then I know, okay, big players are buying, or retail is longing the top, but they're only longing the top if they get trapped. And there was no moment that they got trapped because trend was overall still pointing higher. So then you should just join the trend. And I was still a bit late by joining only here, anywhere here. Would also have joined earlier. And also right now, basically every move, like this is range, bullish break, mitigation, higher. Range, break, mitigation, higher. Currently demand is fully in control. So even here, I could say, okay, I'm gonna trade with the trend. I'm gonna enter here, target there. And then trill my stop if price moves in my favor. And it's more spot buying, right? That's strength for the time being. Yeah, well, the delta shows market buying. So this is market buys versus market sells. So this is not saying like, it's not, don't tell us anything about spot. It's more like market buying versus market selling. However, big market makers also market order a lot. So if they want to push price, then they often do that with market orders, and then you get positive delta. And here it showed me like strength, but sometimes if you see like big negative delta at the lows, or big, like if I see now big delta at the highs and then price going down, then I know a lot of longs are getting trapped. Then I'm more interested in shorts. But right now this is just probably squeezing shorts that are entering continuously. So as long as that 5-minute stock stays bullish, you can enter on demand minute. Yeah. That's the easiest way, basically, to just join a trend, is just trade the demand mitigations and the trend. But for somehow our brain always wants to do the opposite and is always looking for shorts in an uptrend and for longs in a downtrend. And it's also because most people are too focused on the ranges, where each uptrend is always a distribution. But if you see each range in an uptrend as a distribution, then you will see that basically every range, this is again a range, initiation, mitigation, continuation. But if you're every time looking for it from a distribution perspective, then you're against the trend. That's not what you want. For example, ETH was also really clean. Like for ETH, I know everyone was looking 1, 2, this being the lower high or forming a 3. Which can be the case because price is building liquidity, but without confirmations, this is just now a range, initiation. So you have range, move out, which is the initiation, retest, mitigation, continuation. And here, if you draw your range and look at your fib levels, there you can see that this move is clearly out of your deviation threshold. Like if it was here and then you should be looking at it from a distribution. But right now it's breakout of your deviation threshold. then all you need to think is range, broke out, retest, continuation. So I was super interested in longs on ETH as well, basically the whole week, but it front runned me every time, just like it did this morning. Because price gave the mitigation, but only of the upper part of the range. So here, this was mitigated, but like the demand here was my alert. But that never went off. And then you can see that price broke higher. This is basically, again, a new range demand. So until proven otherwise, this is also just super, super bullish. And for here, for ETH, I think the supply is definitely next. But also here, for I'm interested in shorting this, I'm not gonna touch any shorts yet. This is our new range demand. The only way I'm interested in shorts is if we show that cleared 3 drives, break this 1, 2, 3. And dangerous thing to do is, okay, we are now taking the range high. This can be potentially model 1, and then go on the very low time frame, and then watch every move as distribution. Or like now, think, okay, this is range high, this is range low. This is step 1, this is step 2. So I'm now gonna short step 3. So then you see price move up, this, and then you short it. And then you think, okay, we are in the model 1 POI. I'm gonna short it to there. And then if this is indeed the model 1, then I can target way lower. Then you get blinded by the 10R potential. And then you see price go in your favor, and all of a sudden it moves higher. And then you think, oh shit. And then you zoom out, and then you see, oh, even on the 10-minute, if I look at structure is high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And to prove otherwise, so any move here can still be in higher high, higher low for an higher high. So be very, very careful with shorts until we at least hit this supply. And it's basically for every coin. Like here, BTC is squeezing out every short which is entering right now. The dominance is also breaking down. I look at it from a new range, from here this low to that high. And you can see what is in control, supply or demand. Well, clearly supply. And this was the distribution. 1, 2, 3, down. So now price is reaching that low. We have some interesting demand basically starting from here. So there we can watch for reactions. But overall this looks pretty heavy. And even this gave this morning a super clean redistribution. But it's all very, very low time frame. But on the low time frame, it's more clear to me. Like here it broke down, low, lower, high, lower, low. Draw your range from low to high. Then what does price do? It takes out the high, can extend your range. You have some sort of a pullback. So then it's valid there. So what do you have? You have basically 1, 2, 3. You have this as your internal structure, higher low, higher high. So that breaks to bearish right here. So at that moment, basically your model 1 is confirmed with target being your range low. Let's throw it in. It's your bearish boss. This is your target. And after your breaker structure, price comes back, probably to mitigate demand or something. Let's see. Yeah, like this 3-minute supply right here. Price comes back for the 3-minute supply mitigation. And then eventually price breaks down. So this is a super clean local model 1 going over into a model 2, which took extreme supply and then went to the range low. What happened at the range low? You came to the deviation threshold, but you never came back into your range. So this was never a confirmed second tap. This was just a move below, failed to reclaim, continuation. Right now, this was a bearish range, so that's also in essence a whole supply range, which if you retest it is a supply. Let's roll that in, supply, range supply. So alert there and alert here. And then by seeing this as our range, I already know that this is probably going to take time. So it can happen that we tap demand, get a strong bounce, retest supply, come back, and then it might be interesting again to look for potential reversals, targeting that liquidity right there, for example. But for the time being, if we look at the time zone, so what I just drew, this, it would be towards Monday. And as we know, Sunday and Monday are the days to put in your weekly P2. So very often, BTC either puts in the high on Friday or on Sunday. So either today local high or Sunday. But seeing this, I would say it's more likely to make either new low today or get that bounce and then range during Saturday, late Sunday, manipulation, and then reversal. Let's see. Lean as fuck, yeah. Every stream I learn some epic new stuff. Good teacher, DD. Thanks, that's good to hear. First time I checked this live stream, really liked it. Thanks. Unfortunately, I have a meeting. How long do these streams take? No. Great, great to hear. And good luck with your meeting. Normally, they take around an hour. I always post them in Discord, so there you can also watch the recordings. So yeah, they often around an hour, and they can all be rewatched in the Discord. Let's see what we have on BTC. Nothing really exciting. Then ETH. And you will see that this local distribution gonna play out. We can actually watch at it because you can have, let's say this is our range. So we have range high, range low, step 2. And the purpose, what price can do is move higher right here. Step 3, come down. So you can take a short right here, but what is your target? Your range low. So then you should not be greedy and think I get a full reversal, because until proven otherwise, here you can see demand with an imbalance above. So it's likely that at some point price retests this level. So then how it can look is that if we move higher right now, tap into here and then break like this, Then you can take a short, but probably price gonna go over into an accumulation, which is what you see a lot of times, because that's literally how the market moves, from supply to demand and then to the other side again. I'm gonna, for fun, just keep alerts at this local range for BTC at the first demand. Right there. Local supply created. For the new people that are watching it from X or on YouTube, if you want to get like these insights, the statistical insights, where we have daily, weekly statistics, and then for basically every asset, make sure to join the Discord, where like every morning I share, and through the day share a shitload of updates, sometimes videos, like for crypto, for TradFi, so the ES, gold analysis, the statistical updates. We can also see like here, it was this morning, P1 hour 0, P1 hour 0, bullish stats. That was also the reason why I expected higher prices, at least to take out the daily high. And that's also what happened eventually. So make sure to check it out. I also post stuff in the free server, so don't have to pay for it necessarily. And let's see if we have, no, not yet. So what we have are a lot of longs entering, and a lot of people think that that's bearish, but that is actually bullish, as long as the market is moving in their direction. So as long as the longs are in profits, then it's good. What you don't want to see, or at least when you can play the reversal, is if you see a lot of longs entering and price like comes here and then shoots much lower, then you know that these longs that entered are underwater, and then it can often cause a deeper reversal to wipe out those late longs and then get back up. But for now, it seems like this is just squeezing shorts. So this is probably just gonna move higher into proof otherwise. Yes, sure. Hope to see you in the next one as well. Let's see what these. So the S&P is basically in this local range after the bearish move earlier and this model 1 distribution on Monday. So I would now watch it from this range low, range high. Currently I'm out the mid range. So main POIs are this demand lower and then supply. And for gold, yeah, gold also. Range low, range high, took out the range highs and now selling off. Watching this local range, range low, range high. But yeah, also this is not in a trade zone right now until we at least, like if you form a clean accumulation, for example here, then I'm interested in trading it again. But otherwise, best is to wait for range extremes, which are right here. You can watch what is the value. Yeah, currently around the POC and the value area low, which means that either price wicks here and goes back up, or if it holds below, then it's super likely that you get a quick rotation to your range low, because there's literally nothing to hold price up here. So then you either wick reaction above, rotation back to your value area high, or if you hold below, then you get acceptance out of your value, which means that you're gonna search for a new fair price, which then often is at the other side of the range. So that's maybe interesting to zoom in. What is price doing on the 5? So if we look at structure, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So this broke to bullish internal right here and then right there. So then you can watch at your structure from the low up, where you have to remind we are in overall downtrend. So then shorts are the easier way. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So here price broke back to bearish. Did price leave something behind? We are leaving supply behind. Yeah, so potentially what you can watch is lower high, lower low, and then potentially the runner towards that range low. However, we are at the range POC and value area low, so this can be a super choppy area. So I will not trade here. It's pretty dangerous. But if I had to guess, I would not be surprised if we get a move like this to the range low. And that's an area where we can look for longs again. Let's actually set an alert in there. BTC getting some selling pressure. Like this is 10-minute structure. So mark it out. But then you have an hourly demand right below it. And also if you look at structure, then often like this is too vertical. Like if it can do this, then it can sell off. And often this is your new range. This is your range high, range low. Price comes back up, takes out that high, takes out that high. And then I will look for shorts. But right now this probably gonna just range between the levels where it goes to now. Or if it's not ready to consolidate yet, then this can still be like the higher low for a higher high. And then look for a range from there to there. But locally this is pretty volatile price action, so I will be careful trading this. Look, ETH coming back down. Then you can watch for this demand. But this is all really scalpy, so I would not focus too much on it. Here we can look what is the highest time frame. So this is 10-minute market structure. So basically you have high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Here price SFP'd the high, which makes your low a target. But if the next 10-minute candle closes above this low, then you also SFP your low, which means that your high becomes a target again. So you can watch the next 2 minutes, how is the candle gonna close? Do you break 10-minute structure? Yes or no? Then you also have to ask yourself, what is the 50-minute? 50-minute is basically this. So then any move here can be high low for an high high. Let's look at it here. And BTC is wicking the low, which is also 10 minutes Oh, it's not 10, it's inside candle, so it's 5. Are there any specific questions? Because current price action, I think I think Sunday into Monday gonna be very important, which is usually where we get the manipulation. Because we have now super clean supply above, and we have also quite a lot of easy liquidity below us. So if we start reversing, then it also could quickly reverse back down. However, given the overall structure, I think highest chance that a range is going to be formed. Then Saturday do nothing, and then Sunday into Monday get like that manipulation. And until proven otherwise, this whole block is demand. Price took the extreme of the liquidity right there. So tomorrow we should rest. Yes, or at least at Saturday I always rest. I also have football and stuff. But usually you can backtest it, but Saturday is super boring for crypto. Whereas yeah, some alts can move, but BTC doesn't do anything on a Saturday. Like last week, yeah, this was the weekend price action, and then on Sunday we get that manipulation. But like this was Saturday. Super dead. Yeah, this was Saturday. So literally just very slow bleed. And then Sunday gave the manipulation and the reversal on Monday. But like Saturday, very rarely worth watching your time. Then we quickly can look at what are the stats saying. Probably not much. Yeah, like we can see how likely is that we make more distance. Then you can see 30, 25, and 44%. So most of the move to the upside probably done. So that's why I think it's likely that price is gonna find the bottom anywhere here and then start a range and then look for reactions at the range high or the range low. This demand want to watch. But yeah, overall, I think local high, local low around here going to be formed. And that we see a range like this. It's what I think. Let's see. So for now, not really anything to trade. We must be really into scalping. But otherwise, I would wait till you lose significant levels or start showing clean accumulations or distributions. It's like hourly structure was the price now approaching at hourly demand. Hourly structure is, we don't really have hourly structure. 45 technically this is 45, a bit sketchy. 30 is the same. So yeah, the first somewhat significant loss will be closing below this level. But then you reach this range demand. So yeah, for me, I'm just gonna chill. Made good profits this week, so I'm not gonna force anything. Just gonna put some alerts a little bit right here. Alert near the high. And USDT is bouncing before taking out that low. So there you can watch what happens in this supply. But also likely here, come there, consolidate. Can draw some sort of a trend line maybe. Yeah, like here. So best guess is maybe move up, move down, consolidate, and then Sunday get some action. Where you either move down, get up, and then push up, or get like up and then down. But I think there is a quite a big chance that price stays between these levels till late Sunday. I set an alert at this trend line. And then just gonna wait. So that's my plan for now. Then if there are no questions, every time it's around an hour, and it's not on purpose, but after an hour it seems like most talking is done. So then I want to thank everyone. In the Discord next week, you can also join through using my Bytunix link. So keep an eye on that. And then I hope to see you guys next week again. And for now, happy weekend, or at least early weekend. Take it, enjoy it, and then next week we have new chances. So thanks for tuning in and enjoy your time. Cheers.